to Overtowered Plasma Gaming, not sponsored by Iron Brew. This is just Gavin's preferred version of internal pickling fluid.
Yeah. This is my payment for coming up for the game.
Yeah, 1 can. He's a very cheap date. No, this is basically just ruining his insights so that he's ready to convert into a machine, aren't you?
Aye.
Yeah, between that and your Necrons, you know,
I'm the local machine lad.
yeah. So Gavin is no longer so local, but he's local enough that he can pop up for a game, which is lovely on his day off. So thank you for coming up.
Yeah, no worries.
And you were in the first ever battle report on the channel, which was pretty successful.
When I made up the 4 pinball for a Necron Lord.
Which then Innes live during our wrap up corrected.
Yes. Yeah.
Making me win the game. So hoping that Gavin, with these plethora of new rules for his Ad Mech, makes the same mistakes and I get to go, aha.
I'm gonna mess up at least one of them at some point.
Probably, yeah. Like your command base is going to be so interesting. But anyway, do you want to tell the viewer a bit about yourself, or 2 viewers?
Yeah, so I am Gavin. Obviously, I know Chris through the Dundee War Games Club. We met there a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, fateful night.
Yeah. dear Lord, what a time it's been. But yeah, I've been playing Warhammer since the start of 8th Ed. Been going to tournaments since I've been in for like a year, so been in a few tournaments now. Over lockdown, Chris and I have been taking part in a few online events together, so obviously testing out new lists there and kind of doing quite well. I think we've both.
Yeah, you had some great success at the end of 8th with a Dark Elder.
With Dark Elder, yeah, funnily enough.
Yeah. You were using them before they were cool.
Yeah, I was using Dark Masters before it was broken.
Yeah, and but more recently you've been playing Ad Mech for a team that you and I are both in. You're the captain of the team. Yeah,
I'm captaining the team. Was using old, obviously our team event, we were using old Ad Mech rules before the new codex came out. So with new codex coming out, we've obviously been able to change the lists up because of the new Ad Mech. So testing out them now, so they seem to be going quite well. So yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually the list you're running for that event, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm running this list in the event. So fingers crossed it does well in it. Play a few games with it now. 100% victory rate, which is always a good start, but like it can always go downhill from here.
Yeah, and this is your first physical game in a long time, was it?
A year and a half.
You're going to drop so many dice, you're going to knock over so many models, and at least one of these big elves is going to get knocked over as well.
Yep.
And if it's on any of my models, I will murder you.
Yeah.
I won't. If the police are watching this after Gavin's mysterious. I am a nice person, I swear. Despite being Dark Eldar. But yeah, so we're here. We actually don't know the mission and everything yet, so which is unusual for us. Normally we do that stuff, but we will get to that during the deployment summary. But we're here playing 2000 competitive game using the GT 2021 mission pack, which is so different and so
unique,
refreshing as the last one, and I paid £40 for it, and I'm so sad.
I didn't, and I'm quite glad.
Yeah, he's gonna get photographs of my book.
Yeah.
Once it's up here. But yeah, so do you want to give us a quick rattle through of your army?
Yeah, so first of all, before we go into it, I would like to apologise for I've got a lot of proxy models. GW is currently on back order for a lot of Ad Mech stuff, which is...
You've been waiting for a while, yeah.
I've been waiting for a while for it, but you know, it'll come eventually, but we want to get a game out for you guys, so I'm making do with the stuff, with the models I have, so you'll see a lot of Space Wolves and a few Tyranid models on the table.
A few. 40.
Hey ho, it's getting a game in. I'll run through my list.
Yeah.
So, we've just done a video on basically going over Ad Mech. I kind of broke down the list there. Yep. I kind of went over it a bit then, but basically I'm running 2 detachments, 1 battalion, 1 vanguard. The battalion is Lucius, the vanguard is Ryza. The Lucius battalion is made up of 2 Manipuluses, a Skitarii Marshal, a unit of 20 Rangers, 2 units of 20 Vanguards, and then 3 units of 2 Iron Strider Ballistari with Lascans.
And just quickly, what does Lucius do, and what does your warlord traits and relics do?
So Lucius does, I get +1 saving throw against 1 damage weapons, and then I also get +3 inches to my range with all ranged weapons, which is quite handy, especially when I want to rapid fire anything. My warlord trait is the Lucius specific warlord trait. Basically, it goes on one of my manipuluses. That lets me pick a unit within 6 inches, and they basically get transhuman physiology. So can't be wounded on a 1, 2, or 3. He also has my free relic, which is called the Solar Flare, and it basically works the same way as Veil of Darkness does for Necrons. I can pick him and a friendly unit within 3 inches of them. Can be picked up off the board in my movement phase and redeployed anywhere outside 9 inches of enemy models. And that only affects core, so basically my entire army.
Such is the way of 9th edition.
Such is the way of Ad Mech. But it's really good. So that's my warlord trait and free relic. And then
you've also got a Holy Order of
yeah,
Chasm,
so he is also a Logi, so I spend extra points for him to become a Holy Order member, so he becomes a Logician. So basically I can reduce a strategic ploy stratagem by 1 CP, and I can also give out and ignore EP 1 and 2 to a friendly unit within 6 inches of him, which combined with Transhuman and my Skitarii Marshal, who I spend a CP to give a warlord trait for, and he gives out cover to a unit, makes for a very, very tanky unit. Chris is going to be shedding salty tears by the end of this game.
Yeah, I wanted to buy table salt for a month.
Yeah.
So that's half of it, and then you got Ryza.
So that's half of it, and then I've got Ryza, which is a very much similar to Blood Angels. You get +1 to charge and +1 to wound when you charge or charged or Hurko intervene. It's made up of a Skitarii Marshal, just standard Skitarii Marshals. He doesn't have a warlord trait or anything. 3 units of 9 Sicaran Infiltrators who can forward deploy and have taser weapons. And then a unit of 10 Tyranids sterilizers with all of the jank and the stuff that they can do, which is quite nice.
Yeah, we're going to be playing it as written, so he can jump away at the end of every turn if he wants to. However, it's worth noting, and just for posterity reasons, that's likely to be FAQ'd, and certainly the tournament that I'm running, it will be FAQ'd there to be in line with the football stratagem, where you can't use it on the turn you're set up.
I've already heard that WTC are already probably going to be FAQing it.
Yeah.
But they've not come out with a final decision on that yet. So
it's a case of it's a stratagem, which means your opponent can't interact with the unit, which is a no fun stratagem.
Yeah.
Which is a problem in and of itself, and it's also a unit that will never actually win you the game, but it will significantly dictate the pace of the game. So it just needs to go. It was pure ghostwriting by DW.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that the stratagem's amazingly good. It's gonna get you extra points, but it's probably not gonna win you the overall game.
Yeah.
I have played a game without having to use it, and I still won it. Ad Mech are that good that you don't actually need it to win. So we're playing with it this game, but be aware it will probably change.
Yeah. So that's the Ad Mech. Any other thoughts on the Ad Mech?
Oh yeah, the Sterilizer Alpha has a expended CP's Artifactorum, the stratagem. Basically what it does is you can give one of your Princeps a relic, and you have like 4 relics you can choose from. I can't remember what the other 3 are, but I've got the Skull of Elder Nicola. Basically what it does is that in my shooting phase I can roll dice for each enemy vehicle within 12 inches of them, and on a 2 to 3 they take 1 mortal wound, on a 4 to 5 they take D3, and on a 6 they take 3.
And 1 nothing, just.
And 1 is nothing.
Can't complete the data set.
Yeah.
It won't be too much in play today, but I do have 4 raiders, which are all vehicles, so you might do some mortal wounds there, but it's more for like the Ultramarine Dreadnought.
Or against the Orc Buggy list, which I played first with this list, and I dropped in amongst 6 of his vehicles and did 9 mortal wounds in a turn.
And then you go back up with this guy, because you're lovely people to play against. So anyway, enough with the robots, onto the Drukhari, the merciless pirates from, I'm going to butcher this, Komagora, something like that.
Komagora.
Commonwealth, but the Underdark, if you're...
You're a D&D player.
They are drow if you play D&D. Yeah, so this has evolved since I last played it against Innis. We had a chat after the game, so it is still triple patrol, and bear with me, there's a lot to get through. The list will be on the screen. So first of all, I do have a patrol from the Cabal of the Black Heart. This is kind of the bulk of the army. In there I have an Archon who is running with a Huskblade, which is a relic. I'm being paid to make a relic which has got the Gem Blade on it for more attacks and better swingier stuff. He's also got a Warlord trait which is Ancient Evil, which means I can pick a unit I'm in combat with him and make them fight last. If you don't know Cabal Black Heart, it's reroll a hit, +1 leadership, and +1 power from pain.
Yes.
You know, why give them only 2 rolls?
Yeah.
And in there, he's also a Master Archon as well, which means he can fight twice.
Yeah, once per game, right?
Once per game, fight twice at the end of the fight phase, which can come in handy to clean up some of your Skystalkers if you do decide to charge them.
Yeah.
Then I've also got a unit of Trueborn in there. This is one of 2 Trueborn units I've got in there. You can only have one of these upgraded units per Cabal, Coven, or Cult. So the Trueborn is running with a Power Sword and a Phantasm Blade Launcher on the Sybarite, a Dark Lance, and 2 Blasters. That's purely to make them valid for a whilst we stand we fight or to the last. So they actually outpoint or equalise points with Trezor.
Ah, nice.
Who's also on the list too is my Warlord, but I'm pretty sure he's not in the Black Heart.
Yeah, no, he's going to be further down the list.
Yeah, but as I mentioned him, he's Warlord, which means he rerolls all his hits and wounds, not against his infiltrators because they turn off hits and wound rerolls. But he's still Trezor. Yeah. Then I've got a unit of Mandrakes in there, and I've got a unit of Incubi in there as well. All my Incubi Sergeants or Clavexes have the Demi-Clave because why wouldn't they? There's also a Court of the Archon in there, which is got 4 Ergo, 4 Slith, and 1 Lamian, again just to make that a valid whilst we fight choice, and that's still going to be very tough to take on even with the Ad Mech damage output. It's still not easy.
Yeah, no, Chris's list is going to be tough for me to take on. It's like, well, Drukhari got a bit of a nerf in the recent FAQs. Obviously losing quite as good with their Flamers from Dark Technomancers. They are still very good and they're still a very tough opponent to go up against.
We're not done with Black Heart yet. We have 2 units of Reaver Jetbites with Heat Lance on the Arena Champion, I think they're called, they're sergeants.
Yeah.
Just a bit more damage output. It's 8-inch, strength 8, -4, d6 +2 damage. Can kill chickens.
Yeah.
Quite handedly.
Yeah.
I need roll a 4, and I kill a chicken. Pretty much, which is I like that math.
Yeah, I mean, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Never works out that way in game. But,
no, I roll once. But of course, half a chicken on the 1. Then I have 4 raiders in there. One of them has Flimsy Trophies, 2 of them have Splinter Racks, because that lets the Trueborns rapid fire at full range, and one of them is just running with the Dark Lance. Because points. Moving on to the second detachment, I will go to the second Cabal. I have Cabal of the Obsidian Rose.
Which is where Trezor's at, right?
I'm pretty sure he's in there, yeah. Along with an Archon, who is also an Astral Archon, and he is carrying a relic. He has no Warlord trait though, because there's not a woman to give him.
Yeah.
Essentially. But he's running with the Helm of Spite. It won't match in this game for anything, because it's a psychic power.
What's psychic?
yeah, there'll be no psychic recaps in this game. In case you haven't worked that out. But
psychic this game's gonna be do you want psychic this? Nah, we good.
But it's in there to deny miasma, or it's to deny warp time, something like that. It's just there to give me a version of psychic defense.
Yeah.
But as I said, he's an Astral Archon, so I've got a Trueborn unit in there as well, exactly the same setup as the first Trueborn unit. These Cabal of the Obsidian Rose units will be getting a reroll to wound, and 6 inches extra range, which means I've got 24 range blasters, which is pretty nice. Oh, I think I've also got some Phantasm Blade Launchers on the Raiders, but I will check. I'm pretty sure I've got 2 of
You
them.
maybe have 2, but I'm not sure.
on the Trooper Raiders. The list is on screen because it's a Sunday and I'm tired. Then also in there will be some Incubi or Incubi Mandrakes can go wherever they want, and the Reavers are in the Cabals because they don't care about getting the counter strike stuff.
Yeah.
Then into the final patrol, I have a counter strike restricted patrol, so only counter strike units can go in here or mercenaries. But just because I can set it up in that, I make sure no mercenaries do go in here, so no one complains at me, because I don't want to deal with that. In there is a Master Succubus.
Yep.
With a triptych whip.
Yep.
And precision blows.
Yep.
10 attacks on the charge, 6 to hit, 2 mortal wounds to you.
Yep.
2 mortal wounds each.
Yep. They're still nasty.
Yeah, and you know how you're saying about I've got transhuman and everything, and I don't care, I'm doing mortal wounds to you.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, poison does not beat out transhuman, but it would beat out any -1 to wounds. Gavin might throw at me. I'm not sure if you have anything like that.
I'll have -1 to wounds.
But it's still poison. Then I've got a unit of 10 witches in there. They're carrying a relic, so I've also got a relic on one of my guys. That's an agonizer. It's a Morbane's agonizer. So 5 attacks. Well, depending on what drugs I roll. So a number of attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s, -3 damage 1. But if I touch you with this, you cannot fall back for any reason.
Yeah.
Of course, you can pick it up and redeploy them though.
Yeah.
But you can't Desperate Breakout, which means I can get a really easy wrap on there. In that unit, there's also a unit of model with Raider Fails just for a bit more horde cleaning, because that does ×2 attack in that model, and that model can have 5 attacks. So pretty nice. And then also in there are 2 units of 8 Hellions, again for 2 of the last reasons, but 8 Hellions running the +1 attack drugs, they clean house. They on average they kill an Invictor Warsuit.
Yeah, Hellions are nice. Like they are becoming a staple from what I've seen of Drukhari players.
Yeah.
So.
But 0 Homunculus and stuff. I've just dropped them entirely, because their tapper tactics aren't great, and if I want them, I can just take them in any other platform I want.
Yeah, losing out on stuff like the double damage +1 to wind flamers and that, it makes racks not quite as good as they could be.
They still have a place. Covenants will still be kicking about, but just for me and the army I want to play, they just don't fit anymore. So I have dropped a third of my already quite thin book.
Yeah.
And all the beasts. Beasts don't exist in the Drukhari codex. But yeah, so we'll put both the lists back up on the screen now for you, so you can just have a quick review. You can pause the video if you want and have a look there, and we'll come back to you with the deployment and the mission.
Yeah.
And their secondaries, because we haven't done any of this because we're unprepared, and this isn't here to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Essentially. So we're going to end it there and catch you in the deployment. Okay everyone, welcome back to the end of the deployment phase. So we have rolled out the mission. We're playing mission 12, which is Scorched Earth. We have 3 objectives over here and 3 objectives over here. Note that this objective here and over here are holdable if you're touching the wall, just to have a bit of variety, and obviously these ones have a bit of decent cover to them. So I'm going to talk you through the Dark Outdoor deployment because I'm on this side of the table already. And apologies for the squeaky floor.
Yeah.
It's just how the floor is. So in this raider up here, we have a unit of witches and the succubus inside that raider, and they have rolled up for their random drugs, +1 toughness, +1 ballistic skill, and +1 leadership. Then we have the Reaver jet bikes there with heat lance and the extra ballistic skill on there, and a unit of Hellions and a unit of Incubi covering in this ruin here. And then over here we have a unit of jet bikes covering behind the containers, and over here we have the rest of my army. Hellions, and inside the front transport there with the black, with the painted black guy inside, we have the Obsidian Rose, Archon and Trueborn. In the back raider we have the Cabal of Black Heart, Archon and Trueborn, and then we have inside the last raider 10 Incubi and Drazar, and 3 bikes behind it, Hellions up in the building,
And just in the back, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is the Core of the Archon there.
Hiding.
And then we have the Mandrakes hiding out there, and as I got first drop, I just blocked up as much as I could.
Yeah, so Chris won the roll off and decided to go first with his drop because he also wanted to screen out my infiltrators as much as possible.
Yeah, and then just for the Drukhari secondaries, we have Herd the Prey, Retrieve Octarius data, and to the last, which are the 2 Trueborn units and the Core of the Archon. So Gavin, talk us through your deployment.
Yeah, so here we have the Ad Mech, Guard, Space Souls and Tyranids deployment. apologies from Gavin. Yeah, sorry guys. So in this corner we've got my Warlord, Manipulus, along with Skitarii Marshal, unit of Vanguard, unit of Rangers, and a 5-man Ranger squad tucked under there, along with 2 Iron Striders.
Yep.
We then have 2 units of infiltrators out front. Obviously, if I go first, they're going to want to be making turn 1 charges. Here we have my 2 Iron Striders, my Ryza Marshal, along with another 5 Ranger squad. And then more infiltrators here just to go after the Mandrakes and try and clear them out if I go first. And then final 2 Iron Striders, my final Manipulus, and then a 5-man Ranger squad and Vanguard.
And just to clarify, we have made a slight change to your list before the game. Gavin basically had 3 times 5 Ryza, Vanguard, and Aston Wire in the Lucius
Rangers.
Rangers in the Lucius battalion, because you don't need any troops in the Vanguard. And he was like, right, yes, I'll do that then. So
I didn't actually talk about them in the pre-game stuff, but they're in Lucius now, so.
Yeah, the list that you would have seen previously is all correct. So just to run through a few more things, all the MDF terrain you see on the day, which is the majority of it, apart from the single GW crater in the middle here, is from wargamestournaments.com. They are helping out the channel. They gave me a discount on the terrain. They're awesome. Go check them out. Super easy to build, very effective, and it looks good with no painting them, although I will personally be painting them because I'm just pedantic like that. And it's also super affordable as well, which is awesome. The mat is double-sided, and it comes from gamemat.eu. They're awesome. Go check them out. They've had the new mat sizes for a while now. And then, apart from that, just let's get first turn roll off on the way.
Oh, so, also, I forgot to say as well, my sterilizers are in Deep Strike.
Yes, Gavin has put them in Deep Strike. Everything is on the board for the Dark Elder. So, when a first turn roll off, 4 to 2.
I got 2.
And these, the Drukhari are going first, and oh boy, it's going to be a bloodbath. So we're going to come back to you with whenever we feel like it, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when to come back to you with, but we're going to come back to you with that. Catch you in a moment. Okay everyone, welcome back to the end of the Drukhari turn 1. So, things have happened, but not too much. I was going to come back at the end of first turn. So the biggest difference is over this end of the table. So I shuffled some guys around so that they would be able to have line of sight onto the infiltrators hiding out in that building. Let's get my finger, there we go, that building there. And I killed a total of 0.
Yeah, turns out 2 save infiltrators are good.
I was defending between the heat lance and the dark lance to kill 1, and the poison to kill 1 more.
Yeah.
Because it was still 25 poison shots.
Yeah.
Hitting more 29, most of them hitting on 2s.
Yeah, so you rolled badly for a couple of wind rolls.
Yeah.
No, hit rolls, I think. You rolled badly for like a couple of your heat lance and dark lance hit rolls, and then I just made all the 2-up saves out of 5 up in months. So. But
the Hellions came through and cleared them out. In combat though, I did spend a couple of CP to give them, I spent 1 CP to give them +1 AP, which is nice.
Yeah.
From the Book of Rust, first time using that stratagem, so it was pretty handy because it put you straight onto your in-bun.
Which was all the damage as well, because you killed off 8 out of the 9 and then the last one.
So I needed that extra punch because I couldn't do any rerolling to hit it or run against them. Then I paid a CP for the Incubi boat to come sailing up here to give me some good board position for next turn. And also I don't think Gavin does too much to me here because these are Vanguard, this Tyranids blob here. And they're not too great at killing vehicles, Gavin was saying. They're okay, they don't get their auto wounds against it.
It's volume of shots, and I mean I could do like some damage to you, like the average is going to end up being like probably 2 to 3 wounds just purely through like volume
toughness
of fire.
6 model, so you'll be hitting on 3s, winning on 6s.
At AP1, so
yeah.
He's gonna get one.
But he has got a couple of chickens that can come and see. The other chickens can't get line of sight on them. And my Trueborn just shot up this unit of infiltrators here, the Wolfen, and killed off half of them. But then Gavin burned to CP to keep it alive. I did not vect it. I want to vect other things this game. But we will just see how things go. And Gavin's retaliation. These incubi here did retrieve the Octarius data for this quarter, so I have started to score that. The rest of my scoring happens end of game or after turn 1.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to you with the Ad Mech turn 1. Probably summary again. We don't know when we'll come back. We'll come back when we come back. Woo! Gavin forgot to mention his entire command phase and given its Ad Mech. That's kind of important. So Gavin, your command phase, can you please run it through for us?
So we have ignore AP1 to here, transhuman here, cover -1 AP and -1 AP here. Is the general gist of the command phase. Oh, I also did ignore the depreciative effect onto this unit, and I did it onto this unit here.
So they're moving base either way.
Yeah, they're just moving base, yeah.
Moving base, apart from those guys who are on the forest.
Yeah.
And now we will go back to the current point in time. See you shortly. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the slightly less sparsely populated by Drukhari board as we come into the end of the Ad Mech
shooting
phase. So, first thing over here, Gavin.
So first of all, these 2 Iron Striders shot at the raider and probably blew it up. I rolled rather well despite the fact she did lightning fast reactions.
Yeah, he got 2 hits, 2 wounds, and I failed twice.
Yeah.
So
and then rolled
one of those should have been stopped at some point based on average. That's why I was happy putting that raider there. Because I was thinking, okay, cool, 2 chickens doesn't kill raider on average. Then I shoot the Vanguard in to kill it, and then my incubi would be safe. But instead I knew if the Vanguard shot the incubi, they were dead because they're T3, 1 wound each.
Yeah. So I spent a CP for enriched rounds,
which I have vectored for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so it's not going to be 2 CP, but they just annihilate the incubi.
Yeah.
Over here, these Vanguard shot in there. They'd advanced, so with the hit rolls and the winning of 5s, they didn't really do that much. They killed a couple of models, which is nice, but hey ho. Iron Striders here took off 6 wounds off the raider that was there, and then took these 2 Iron Striders to finish it because the Marshal missed.
Yep.
I think one of your
girls
died on the way out.
One witch and 1 incubi that twisted an ankle on the way out. We're just going to go to the charge. I like to roll charges on camera, so
yeah.
Gavin, do you want to roll a charge for these infiltrators?
These guys are going to charge in here, so they get +1 to charge. So it's 5 goes to 6.
I'm pretty sure that's
yeah, so it's a 6, so that'll be it. Because I am 6 inches away.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you needed. So we'll do that movement in a bit. We'll just move the first one in. And Gavin, you're charging Jazar over here?
It's an interesting conundrum because obviously if I charge him, Jazar is 2 damage, got a good chance of killing me. It's a question of...
But it's giving me the objective.
Giving you an objective which would be 10 points for your primary.
Yeah. Because Jazar, his base just overlaps it above it and it's a 5-inch vertical zone of control as well.
Yeah. And Jazar has how many wounds again?
6 wounds.
6.
He's 2 up safe, 4 invulnerable, -1 damage taken as well. I'm not sure if you might need for 2 damage at all.
And 1 damage of weapons.
He's also T4, so that's kind of annoying for you as well.
Yeah, we've got...
So what do you think?
5 guys left there, so that's 9 wounds. Yeah, I think we'll try it. We'll just see.
We'll try it. With a 4 goes to 5.
Fails, so we're all good.
That fails. Okay, so Jazar is just going na 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 na, and he's going to hold that for me.
Yep.
Thank you, Jazar. So yeah, we'll come back to the end of the fight phase and see how this clocks up. I don't think it's too good for the Hellions. Okay, here we are at the end of the Ad Mech combat phase. Where's my Hellions? Where are they, Gavin?
They might be
at a farm.
A pile of mush on the ground.
At a farm upstate.
Yeah, let's just say the ground around there is now kind of like twitching electrical bodies.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
And then you powered over the halfway line to just for hard.
Yeah, just to ensure, just in case Chris decides not to charge them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I can
And one more thing to mention, Gavin did do retrieve our Tyranids data in that quarter.
Yeah.
There.
We forgot to mention earlier, my secondaries are eradication, retrieve our Tyranids data, and
I would have flashed it up on screen anyway, mate.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it too much. But yeah, anyway, we'll come back to you with the Drukhari turn 2 starter build stuff that we'll film now. What are you doing with your 19,000 things at the start of battle round?
I'm thinking this turn +1 ballistic skill.
What's the ballistic skill?
Yeah, and I might do the reroll hit, wound, and damage for my.
For your 2 models that get it.
Yeah, for my 2 models that get it, that both rolled once to hit last turn.
So, do you remember the names of these things? Because that's Benediction of the Omnissiah for the rerolls.
So that's Benediction of the Omnissiah for the rerolls, and the Doctrina is, I think it's not Bulwark. Bulwark is a +1 to save. It is Protector Imperative.
There you go. So they are protecting their imperative parts. I don't know what that means for Skittles, but we will soon find out when the Ad Mech go and touch them. Come back to you with Ad Mech turn 2. Okay, here we are at the end of the Drukhari shooting phase. So I've screened up with Hellions here, and the jet bikes carry on the screen over here, and then the witches complete the screen over there. I'm not worrying about holding the objective because it's a whole bunch of horde 2 mission, and once I clear off that and do some charges here, I will probably hold one of these other ones. But I'm taking Gavin off objectives. I'm trying to stop him getting to 15. The Incubi and Succubus moved out, advancing forward to come and lay waste to these poor, innocent, not so innocent.
Nah.
Thingamabobs, infiltrators there. I was going to say Wolfen, but they're not Wolfen.
Infiltrators. I mean, they're basically as good as Wolfen these days anyway.
Infiltrators. Dazar came forward, so I was like, do I try and shenanigans him to not get Overwatch? I was like, nah, he's going to go for it. But I do have bikes there who can, as Cuttle Strife units can CP, but I just end up shooting away most of the Skittle Bowl here.
Yeah, you killed just over half of them.
Yeah, so Dazar with his 14 attacks should clear up quite nicely. Particularly with the help of the bike, which is a 10 attack unit.
Yeah.
At hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s as well because they're strength 4 with the blade veins. There's nothing to turn your nose at. So we're going to go into the shooting phase now.
Charge phase.
Charge phase now. Thank you, Gavin.
Oh, you also killed 2 Iron Stranders as well.
I did shoot away 2 Iron Stranders, which means these raiders with the trooper on side should be very, very safe. Like, Gavin had to pick up a unit of his chickens to get line of sight to shoot them with chickens, basically. Which he made. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start off with Drazar, who is going to multi-charge the 2 units of Skittles here. So that's the Guardsman unit and the Tyranids unit.
Yeah.
For those following at home. Are you going to Overwatch?
Nope. Funnily enough, he's in.
He got a 7, so he's fine. I'm also going to roll for the bikes to go in as well, because they might as well.
That'll fail.
Yeah.
You need an 8.
An 8? That's fine, they will just die, they've done their job. Dazar with 14 attacks, re-rolling, should be fine. Oh, the other thing is the court on the objective here did do my retriever Tyranids data for this quarter, so I'm up 4 points in that now, which is nice. The Succubus is going to charge in.
Okay.
I'm going to watch.
What's her saves like again?
4 convertible, 5 wins. Actually, I'm going to. It is like a billion shots. It's 45 shots, right?
Yeah.
45 shots, hanging on 6s. I'm not going to risk it for Chocolate Biscuit. She's going to ignore Overwatch.
Okay.
She's in with a 10, folks. I think that's fine. And then the Incubi to follow up. Got a 10 as well. So even going through the forest, you'll be fine. I know these units are going to die to Skittle Horde anyway next turn. There's not much I can do about that.
Yeah, like this side of the board, I've got pretty good lockdown on.
And I've got good luck running this side of the
Yeah,
board.
got a good side on this side.
So yeah, so we're going to come back to you with the end of Drukhari fight phase and see how it goes. Okay everyone, welcome back to the end of the Drukhari fight phase. So I rolled for the Incubi fight last, forget what it's called, Tormentors, that's it. So Dazar made the big unit of Skittles there, fight last.
Yep.
And the Incubi over here just didn't manage to
Yeah.
make the Infiltrators fight last. But between the Succubus and the Incubi and an rude interruption from Gavin, so you spent 4 CP over here, right? 3?
3 in that turn. So I spent 2 for an interrupt and 1 for chain taser protocols, and then you spent 1 to lightning fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was a lot saved you there.
Yeah, because so important to note that cause Gavin decided to get some ballistic skill, he lost a weapon skill, and then -1 to hit in combat will stack on top of that.
Yep.
So I was like, cool, you're going to hit on 5s. I know each 5 is 3 hits.
Yeah, I then rolled 1 5 up on 9 guys.
Still got the Clayvex though. You know.
Got the Clayvex, but you know.
And Dazar has now gone and based this character, but one Skittle ran to morale, so they're now free to shoot, but 3 Skittles shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Shouldn't be too bad. But Gavin didn't get a 10 because I didn't quite have enough firepower. I was hoping to kill the chickens up a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Didn't have quite enough firepower to lift off the infiltrators over there. But so I've done 2 retriever alternate data, which gives me 4 points. I've also got 4 points on Herd of Prey. And Gavin's going to enter into his second turn, so we'll let him do that in peace, and we'll come back to you with our command phase, movement phase, and probably shooting phase summary. Okay everyone, welcome back to the end of Ad Mech shooting. So Gavin, walk us through what happened. Command phase first of all.
Yeah, so basically I put the main defensive buffs on this unit, apart from cover and the -1 on this unit. And then I put another -1 onto the 3-man squad here just to see if I can do any
because
damage.
the Manipulus is over there as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So command phase wasn't the most
Who
interesting.
fell back out of combat.
Yeah, so the Manipulus couldn't do anything. These 2 in shooting mesh take 1 wound off Drazar, which is okay. These 3 squad here is doing my Octarius data for this quadrant. And then Sterilizers came in here.
And they did a mortar wound to this raider with the black painted guy in it, and 3 mortar wounds on a roll of a 6 to the one carrying the black heart trooper.
Yeah. Then in the shooting phase, this squad here, just bye Incubi. And then Chris lightning fast his Succubus, but even with that, these 2 Irish Riders took her off.
There was a good chance she could survive if only 1 got a hit through, but with the +1 ballistic skill, it was too much. I probably shouldn't have spent CP, but it's fine. It is okay. We're going to go into the charge phase now.
Yep.
Gavin, what charges do you have?
So basically I have my Sterilizers and these guys to charge.
Sure. Where do you want to start?
So we're going to start with the Sterilizers into this front raider.
Yep.
Yeah, just into the raider.
So needing an 8.
So I need an 8. Call dice. Roll the 4. So that's
4, so 9
that
goes
goes
to
to
10.
So they're definitely in.
And are the other guys charging as well?
Yeah, they're going to go into both.
Both the bike and, Yep.
And they get a 3, but that gets +1, so into a 4, so that makes it enough for them.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Cool, so we'll come back to you with the end of the Ad Mech fight phase. That raider, I don't know if he dies here or not, to be honest. But
it's iffy. It's a lot of attacks, winning on 4s.
But it's, you've got 2 CPs, they're just going to go...
It doesn't even cost me like 3, it won't even cost me a CP because my Logi ability lets me do it for 0 in 1 turn.
Do we like this team?
Yes.
Is Ad Mech stupid?
Yes.
Good job, Cameron. Good job. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the end of Ad Mech fighting phase. So I'm just going to pan you over to the area of the table. Smooth. Oh look, there's nothing there. Gavin, why is there not 12 models there?
Because I spent 0 CP to put the sterilizers back in Deep Strike, and also turns out that freaking infiltrators can roll 12s to wound the flippin' biker.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that biker would be dead, and that biker probably then killed the back in return. And I'm like, excellent.
Arena champion, don't mess with the arena champion. I did high roll, Gavin did low roll, but that's one of the moments in the game where you're dealing with MSU style stuff that can just happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gavin, what are you scoring your turn?
So I'm going to score Eradication of Flesh.
So you did kill these two units here.
And another Tyranids data.
Yeah.
And then you're only going to get 5 for primary.
Yes.
Oh, I did another 4 wounds to the Raider with the Sterilizer squad, so I mean, I'm not unhappy with that.
Yeah, well, the other thing is these bikers run. So.
Oh yeah, those bikes got shot in the shooting face by those Iron Striders.
So I am running out of stuff to stop speeding with, which is super annoying, and I don't want to put my mandrakes here, but I might have to.
Yeah, you're starting to get to the point where like you're getting out of things that you can kind of block me out with, which is going to make the next 3 turns. So we still have 3 turns left, ladies and gentlemen. Rather difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know how we still have 3 turns left and nothing is on the board anymore.
It's been brutal, but we're going to come back to you with the Drukhari movement, command movement, and shooting summary. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the end of the Drukhari turn 3 shooting. So Gavin decided not to use any Doctrine Imperators, and his canticle is when I don't hit the fight phase. Which actually will come up, because I am going to charge to get a Cult Mechanicus thing.
It's fine, pick that.
But yeah, so all I did was these witches shuffled around so that the Rangers won't really get line of sight on them, even if they redeploy. I had to bring the mandrakes down here, which is annoying, but I don't have anything else to screen out this section of my field, but that is the entirety of my backfield screened out again. Over here, the Ergo popped out like a good little boy to screen out this corner. And the Hellions popped out to just get more work control essentially. This Raider popped out and then eventually beat never stationary, popped back in, and that killed a unit of chickens that was out here.
Just.
Drazar and Heat Lance was going to come and kill these. Heat Lance whiffed so far, but maybe combat is more their thing. And then my fighty Archon is going to smash face here with a Raider backing up. So we're going to go into the charge phase now. The Drazar is going to multi-charge both units. So do you want to watch?
No. Oh look, funnily enough he's in.
And then the Cultist Strike Biker will back up. The 4 he's actually in himself. Cool, so we're going to come back to you with that. I ignore force.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're going to come back to you for that and see how much I score. Oh, thank you, Gavin just reminded me. Archon going into his Tech Priest Necklace. With a 3, that is still enough.
Oh, you're kind of fine there.
That is more than fine with me. So we're going to I'll move the models and we'll come back to you. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the end of the Drukhari phase. Very good turn for the Drukhari. Big score on Herd the Prey there because I have wiped out units that were sitting there as well as the manipulator sitting over there. Give me a 10 on Herd the Prey. I'll just try to push down back into 1/4. And the aforementioned an Archon has popped out. I'm not sure if you can see him with the shadows, but he's basically sitting on the objective, happy as can be. That's the Obsidian Rose Archon represented. He's basically unimportant this game. And yeah, they're just going to die. They're just dead.
Probably.
But yeah, so pretty good. I couldn't find a place to get a retrieve Archive's data this turn, but that's fine. I've got 2 more turns to do it in. Can probably find a way of getting it in that quarter. Give me an 8 at least. But yeah, Gavin's on the 5 primary, and we'll see what he does. Do you want to do your command phase stuff? Do you know that now, or do you want to have a moment to think?
I know roughly what it'll be. So it'll be like AP1 and all the defensive buffs basically.
Yep.
So.
All defensive buffs in the Rangers?
Yeah.
And AP -1 shooting. Here.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. It's nice and easy. Yeah, so we'll see what Gavin can do. Okay everyone, welcome to the Ad Mech turn summary. So Gavin, talk us through what happened starting in the movement phase.
So basically, I just moved the Vanguard out to kind of just spread out, grab a couple of objectives. These guys move forward, these guys move forward. These guys teleported over here just to clear out the mandrakes, grab another objective off of Chris. Then dropped in the sterilizers over here, did another 2 damage to this raider. Rolled a 1 for my mortal wounds on this raider, so he didn't take anything. Then when I shot, the Vanguard got Drazar down to 1 wound remaining and killed off the bike. The 2 Iron Striders got this guy down to 3 wounds remaining, so he's pretty low. And then the Rangers obviously cleared up the mandrakes. And the sterilizers finished off Drazar. A little bit of a bad play on my part. I decided to charge the Archon and had some CP to reroll it, when I probably should have charged like the Raider to like see if I could try and take it out and just reduce Chris's mobility a bit.
But you were a bit further away from the Raider as well. So you were like more of a 10 or 11 on the charge, so it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
But you did get your eradication of fish.
Yep.
You've not gotten any more datas, and you have not engaged any more fronts.
No. But I have taken off the token and off this Archon as well.
Yes, so that Archon has lost a token money. You did take a few damages in that combat. So I get 10 in my primary.
Yeah.
And Gavin is currently. We're all playing Hammer and Anvil, everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't know how I'm going to cross this chasm of death between the two armies now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's basically now I've got this side of the board pretty locked down. And I've at least still got 2 turns of using the sterilizers where I can do a lot of damage to the stuff you have over here.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll see what I can do, and we'll come back to you with a Drukhari turn summary next. So, got a round summary for you because not too much is happening now. So the Hellions shuffled over and the boat shuffled over, and I put a boat exposed here and a boat exposed poking under the ruin there to shoot up the Vanguard squad. There's only 1 person left after some combat with the witches that were in this building. They moved out. The Hellions retrieved our Tyranids data for this quarter. That's pretty much all I'm going to get, as Gavin can probably get something in this quarter, looking at it. I don't think I have the speed to block out this quarter, but I'll see. It's definitely quite weird. I'll have to see how far the court bubbles out and stops you, because if you can't fit a whole Skyscraper unit in the 6-inch past the middle points, that's a big ask. So I got a 10 on turn 4, Gavin got a 15 on turn 4.
Yeah,
as you see your screens, because he
has
a unit of Rangers.
Yeah, I have 1 unit of Rangers on here. What happened was Chris moved his witches out from here along here, decided to charge the Vanguard, which he'd already whittled down to 10 man. I then rolled 9 6s in Overwatch.
Which is almost double average.
Which is almost double average, and wiped out 7 out of the witches.
9 witches.
Yeah.
I wanted, so I had 2 CP left, and I wanted to save it for re-roll to wound for 2 CP.
Oh yeah, then you rolled.
Because you were making me strength 2.
Yeah.
And your toughness 3.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to do that, and I didn't think you were going to one Overwatch that you want to save your CP for some cool stuff in that turn. But also, I could have also just gone into this building here.
Yeah, and also...
And maybe that probably was the better play.
Possibly.
But it would have made my charge harder, but possibly the charge. That was probably the +1 difference.
But you also rolled a double 1 for charge, so you had to spend a CP to re-roll it. Because obviously you roll a double 1 on the charge when you need the charge.
Yeah. But anyway, it's fine, we're going to go into turn 5. We'll talk, and it's really more of a talk through turn of round 5. I can't cross this distance enough to do anything.
Yeah, you don't do any meaningful damage to me, so it's basically going to be you count up your points and I basically see what I can do with Tyranids.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and we'll come back to you with the end of game and round summary.
Whatever, it's going to be close.
Yeah. Okay everyone, welcome to the end of round 5. So my round 5, all I did was I shuffled about in that building there, made sure that only 1 detecting sterilizer could frame them, which is what happened in Gavin's turn, and I shuffled around in there to screen up with the Hellions to make sure that the troop armor nice and safe, keeping my 2 the lasts alive. And then in Gavin's turn, he dropped down with the sterilizers, shot 1 guy, killed I think 1 Trueborn warrior.
Yeah. If I killed 2, it would have made a difference in the game. But
because so I set it up so that no matter where Gavin went with the unit, the Archon could heroically intervene.
I almost managed it, so there was one guy that if I hadn't maybe killed that one guy in the shooting, I think he was maybe sticking out a little bit further. And then
maybe, I don't know, we'd have to rewind time, which is physically impossible to check. But I basically made it very tough, and then...
I almost made it. I made an 11-inch charge into him.
Yeah.
Which was A-okay, and I was just about on it, but just not quite.
But yeah, this is the state of the board at the end of
everything's
the game.
Dead.
We've turned it into a hammer and anvil.
Yeah.
And
so if this one guy, Chris had one Trueborn left here, which only survived thanks to the fact that he used Black Heart and therefore Fearless this turn.
all Drukhari are this turn.
All Fearless this turn, but Fearless this turn. If he died, looking at the board, there is a 5.
It'll be up on
there's
screen.
There's an 8-point swing.
Yeah, so we'll get into all that stuff in the end of game summary.
There you have it, Drukhari reign supreme!
Oh, it was close though.
Yeah, so scores up on screens now. So Drukhari got 10, 5, 10, 10 on primary, 15 Herd the Prey, 8 Octarius Data, and 15 to the last with the double Trueborn, and Core of the Archon, and then Ad Mech got 10, 5, 15, 15, double 15 at the end there, 12 Eradication of Flesh, 2 on Engagement of Fronts, that wasn't the best secondary choice, so we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And Regime Octarius Data with an 8. Half is even on one. Ad Mech are rough.
They're rough. If I had chosen a better secondary instead of engaging up fronts, like if I'd taken the new Domination, what's it called now?
Stranglehold, I said to Gavin,
yeah.
like 1-3. So
yeah, if I'd taken Stranglehold, I'm still not 100% familiar with the new secondaries, so I think Stranglehold, if I take Stranglehold, well, I get like at least 9 points for that secondary, and that puts me way up in front. So.
Yeah, you definitely found out the hard way about the retrieve Octarius Data as well, because at first turn was like, okay, I'm moving 3 inches away from the central line and I'm going to rod there, and like, no, you can't do that, Gavin. And then it was so easy to screen you out in my own quarter.
Yeah.
As well. But I think with a bit more practice, and also with like MSU style sterilizers or Skystalkers, which is their other variant, their melee variant, you could maybe get that. But the thing is, they're 40 bases, they're huge bases.
Oh, they're big bases. Like they're really, really good. And like if I'm getting you into like, if I'm killing you off, which I am doing, like at the end of the game, I think I have more points on the board at the moment than you do.
Oh, 100%.
Well, it's kind of iffy because you got those sterilizers in the last turn.
Yeah, it was pretty rough for me. Basically, the objective number 5 and objective number 1, I couldn't ever hold.
Yeah,
because I don't have the durability. I don't think any army in the game right now has the durability of Heart from Ad Mech to hold that.
Even like Ad Mech versus Ad Mech, like the amount of firepower you do, like you can actually take out Ad Mech relatively kind of simply with Ad Mech, just do like extra damage. And the other trouble is like, if you don't take Lucius, you don't have that survivability.
But
so
if you take Mars, you have much more output.
Yeah, so if you take Mars, you have much more output. But then you lack the durability, so it's then kind of a toss up between do you want the durability or do you want the output? And I just think the durability at the moment in my fit just kind of trumps the output, in my opinion. But
I don't think you were ever lacking output apart from the odd case where a Raider got away, and that. And Mars didn't help you with that too much.
Mars doesn't help me with that. I think the only reason like the Raiders were doing quite so well is because of the way that the triangular building was kind of done. Because I was at the far end of the board, I was never ever going to be able to get an angle to shoot into these triangular buildings. If they'd been a little bit more square on like that, I think it's a little bit easier for me. Whereas with the triangle, it kind of creates a bigger footprint for me to try and shoot past.
Yeah, and the terrain wasn't set up to mess with Ad Mech. I think it was a pretty favourable board for Ad Mech in general, but it was this kind of stuff that we see. Like, this is probably heavier than some of the stuff we see at tournaments in Scotland. We don't have the amount of terrain at our venue over in Stirling, unfortunately, but that's an issue we're trying to resolve.
Yeah.
And we're trying to air more towards WTC style boards. I think on WTC style boards, you might struggle to get the line sometimes.
It depends, because I do have quite a lot of good movement, and in all the games that I've played so far up until this one, like people really struggled to hide from me. I think you were only able to hide from me because it was like one model hiding behind one bit of terrain, which at a long distance was going to make it hard for me to ever get a line of sight on.
For sure, yeah.
If you'd had like 6 raiders, I'm always going to have a target every turn. You cannot hide 6 raiders on this board.
That's what I like about this. It's only 4 raiders, but I mean, you saw in my deployment, I was struggling to hide them.
Yeah, like the trouble with the terrain at the moment is like if you're taking any army with like lots and lots of stuff, you're always going to struggle to hide. Like even if you look at like my deployment, I was sitting there looking at it going, okay, I can kind of hide like most of my stuff, but I had to have 1 unit of infiltrators just sitting out on the objective number 1 because I didn't really have anywhere else to put them.
Yeah. I don't think that even more terrain would even help you with that because you just probably take more bigger stuff. The Skitarii, they were pretty good, but like people have been definitely going how broken they are with their new assault weapons and the new last cannons, but I don't think they were the heroes of the army. What was your MVP?
My MVP, I would say is in the Vanguard.
Yeah.
The Vanguard just wreck anything that's not a vehicle.
Specifically this Vanguard here, the one who survived and held it to 6.
Yeah.
For Gavin.
Yeah.
That one Vanguard Alpha or Princess or whatever they're called.
That's not even the Princess, that's just the regular Vanguard.
Well, that's the regular guy.
Yeah. I killed the Princess off so I could go on that objective.
Cool story, bro. I think for me it was the... what would it have been?
In my opinion, it's your Trueborn.
I am thinking Trueborn. I'm also thinking
Trueborn or Drazzar.
Drazzar did a lot of work, and the Hellions did a lot of work, even though you would use one of them. But I would give it to the Obsidian Rose Trueborn. The 24 range blaster was super helpful. I was getting a lot more firepower, even though like I'm facing horde. I'm taking down your chickens, and like quite handily. Yes, you have 2 of them around, but I was like at that point, sure, what are they going to do to me? But I think the true hero, the true MVP at the end of the game was the
if you don't have that Archon, you lose the game. Plain and simple.
Yeah. So for everyone who doesn't know what that Archon is, it is Cabal the Black Archon. It doesn't have to be that Cabal, but it's the most optimal way of running it. With Ancient Evil, the Ginblade Relic, and Master Archon upgrade, and he just went through and picked up that unit of sterilizers at the end of the game and saved the Trueborn from getting massacred.
Yeah, he's in, like, I think obviously he was in the right place at the right time, but obviously like, he did a lot of damage to those sterilizers.
That's why he runs in the Raider with them.
But those sterilizers, my god, like I know they don't do a huge amount, especially in this game. I wasn't really like getting a huge amount of damage into with them.
No.
But they're just so annoying for people as well.
I couldn't it forced me to screen out for 5 turns, which is
rough for anyone.
It's rough. I mean, it's just brutal to play against because it changes up the entire pace of the game, the map of the game, and I really, really hope the next time we get you up, it will be FAQ'd to somewhere where it's just a balanced stratagem. That's what we want.
The thing about the stratagem is like the best way you can make it is just turn it into you can come down and then the next turn you can jump back up again. Because at the moment it's just like, you just kind of interact with them. Because basically I spent that whole game, like, killed off 1 until turn 5. And I spent 2 CP to do that. And it's like, I just don't care. Like, you're doing no damage to them and they're just getting free damage against them.
The only reason why I got a kill them was because you charged an Archon and the Archon went slap.
Yeah, and even then, like, if I charge your other Archon doesn't even do that much damage to them.
Other Archon kills about 3 damage.
Yeah.
Worked out. We're still, Speed Flamer's dead, but you're sure about it.
Yeah, like, who cares?
So apologies for all the proxies, but hopefully that made sense. Comment down below your thoughts on the match, on your thoughts on the new Ad Mech. Are they busted? Are they going to be the new Iron Hands? Will we be cheering Iron Hands Ad Mech for the top 3 OPG GT coming up in about a month's time? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified when our next battle order comes up. I have no idea what it will be. Any suggestions, let me know, and I can try and arrange that. But yeah, Thank you for coming, Gavin.
Yeah, no worries. Always good to
fun.
play here. And hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, sorry about the proxies.
Yeah. Next time we have you up here in about a month.
Yeah, I'll have everything ready by then. Everything should be painted by then as well. It's just obviously back orders from GW. So
yeah. Anyway, peace out. Have a good rest of the week. I hope this will be up on Wednesday and on time.
But hopefully.
I mean that's not my fault. It's the editing company's fault. But yeah, peace out. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.